on top wrong.
That's fine. They know what I meant by this date and the time. Well, the time's right, the date's wrong, but
Date's wrong.
we're
It's
here.
4:10, not 4:3.
That's fine. I was in the past and the future all at once. No, what it was we pushed the episode. We pushed this
Yeah,
episode back a week because
I was sick.
James was under the weather. So I
Yep.
didn't feel like making a whole new poster just for James. Fuck James. What's good, man? How you doing today?
Oh, good. How you doing, man?
That's how we talk to each other. If you want to call it a love language, like if I was just like, if I'm gonna put it to people like to people like this out there, for those of you who see us on here on the lives and hear us talking to each other on the lives and gaming and all that stuff, if we went like in a being dead serious, if I was like, "Good morning, guys, how's it going?" and I was talking to these guys all day, every day like this, they'd probably hit me up on the side like, "Yo, what's going? Like, is something going on? Are you okay? Like, is there something going on at home?" That's not how we talk to each other. Here and there, yes, of course. But we start with the fuck yous and get we get the love language out the way. Then we get our day started.
True.
But James, it's fun to be here again.
Mm-hmm.
And we got these two movies and we have two more left, which is a double
It's
gonna be double feature Resident Evil instead of 1v1.
because they had two more movies than Underworld, even though I heard Underworld's making number 6. But
See,
the two movies after this, yeah.
I'm glad you said that. So I asked Google earlier about that just to look into it. I don't know how much fucking Google knows. You can say like, "Hey Google," blah 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 blah. So I did the whole "Hey Google" thing earlier, and no, I'm not talking to you now, Google. Shut up. And it's really just it almost repeated that. It was about to.
I will be quiet now.
See?
You better be quiet.
Exactly. A real man is talking. I was gonna say something else, but I'm gonna try to hold off. I know I already started cussing. I'm trying to hold off till about 5 minutes in for the rest. Anyway, they were saying back in like 2023, which is only 2 years ago, but that they were possibly working. They weren't sure if they were going to be working on a series. There's rumored to be a series, and there's rumored to be a movie. With that being said, what would you rather see, and why? And let's have that discussion.
I would rather. So,
as a matter of fact, let's
I'd rather have a movie.
Let's say with both of these. We'll start off. We'll do Underworld first, then after we'll do what you call it. But for me, just to play devil's advocate, just for conversations, like I say a series.
I don't know, because the series, it feels like the movie's already told its story. What's it going to do?
I mean, I guess for the series, like you can get a little more character development if you wanted to.
So how would you want it? Would you want to start back where it began, like when the war started, or would you want it like where Celine's here and there's flashbacks?
Honestly, shit. If we're gonna hit, okay, let's just say this. If we're gonna do that, I would hit the reset on this. I wouldn't add a new movie onto the end of this franchise, or add a series onto the end of this. I would just start fresh. Keep the story, like the basis of the story, but just do it over. Do it as a series. Maybe one season you get kind of the backstory of the LICINs. Hear me out, people. I know people have done this before with a bunch of other shit. You get a backstory of the vampires, but you also kind of see in between of why they don't like each other, but you're getting like their sides of it. You know what I mean? So it's each side is really selling you why we don't like this side or why we don't like this side. And you could do that in like, say if it's 2 seasons, like first season's this, first season's that, or episode, like just maybe the first couple seasons or first couple episodes is the werewolves, first couple episodes is I don't know. But either way, I just feel like a series can really, really, it could do it justice. I mean, some people may say, I don't know how popular it would be or how well it would work. Well, no, fuck that. I think it would work well, especially if it's on because I think series are doing a hell of a lot better than what they used to be. Even as like a short series, like season 1, 8 to 10 episodes, season 2, 8 to 10 episodes, where maybe you learn about each, let's just say. And for those, they can even be like 6 episodes. And then season 3 could be the final season, 10, 12 episodes where you get the whole kind of battles and all this other shit, but you're getting like a deeper story into it. So it's kind of, because with these films, I do enjoy them, but I will say sometimes they kind of feel rushed with certain parts of the story. It's like, it could just get better. It could be better. It can be where you learn more about Celine, you learn about Lucian, you learn about Marcus, Victor, you learn about Michael.
Ophelia, Michael,
And like that bloodline, that family, because they mention that family a lot.
the
But you don't
Corvus.
really drive like all that. So like in all those, and then the way you get those backstories is for the vampire side, you get the backstory of all the vampire stuff and then what's going on now. And then the Lycan side, you get the backstory for all the Lycan stuff and what's going on now, which I mean each season, whatever, if you want to build it up to where it's almost like a back and forth. So maybe it could be like episode 1, episode 2, where it's like a response to that. Here, like episode 1's about the vampires starting their first episode. Episode 2 kicking it off with the werewolves. So it's almost like how that began and what it's looking like while this is going on with the vampires. So you get like the basics of what's going on the other side. And while you're getting the basics of what's going on the other side, you're getting the deeper story of this, and then vice versa for the episode of that. You kind of get what I'm saying? What I'm trying to go with it. But anyways, you get to that point, and then again, you could do that for the first season or however you want to do it, and then maybe you can make it 2 seasons, 10 to 12 episodes, and season 2 is where they meet up. Like the end of season 1, that last episode of season 1, maybe they're like on the verge of getting towards each other. Season 2 is when they meet up, and whatever happens with the battle and all this other shit and blah 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 blah. And some of this, how the stories intertwine with the love and all that, the love and the hate and all of that. Yeah. So 3, maybe 4 seasons. But
to me, it'll just be hard because, like I said, like this is the type of franchise where they go, why are they fighting against each other? Let's go back. And that Lycan, the Rise of the Lycans, when they went back, was dope. I like how they told that story. So if I say like right now, they go, hey, instead we're doing a series now. So it's like hard. Are they going to do it from after like Blood Wars on, where she's trying to rescue her daughter, and everybody knows because of the movies how wide the Lycans and everything, or how you're saying
if you want to add it on from 6,
yeah,
then you would have to, because remember how she's like going and walking up to her daughter at the end of it. You'd almost have to do it like that, and I mean. But with that, I still feel a series could be better because it's like you're going to want maybe 2 or 3 movies. Maybe, which isn't bad, which is not bad at all. But I'm just saying, just because of how far along away it is now. Like that last movie came out in 2012. And for all that, it's over 10 years. You might as well just do a reboot. It's been 12 years. You might as well do that's why I say reboot it. Even if you wanted to redo the franchise again as a maybe instead of doing if you want to do the franchising as a franchise, the only difference, the way I would change the franchise, the same thing with the movies, just have maybe, even though it wouldn't be the same, but have it where one, you tell the deep story of the Lycans, one, you tell the deep story of the vampires, and then 3 and 4, maybe they're fighting. And you just do 4 movies if you want to do that. I don't know. I'm not saying they should remake it. Don't get me wrong, people. I am not saying that shit at all, because they shouldn't remake it. But if they were to bring it back, that's just some ideas, and that's just some thoughts on how I'd be interested in. Shit, honestly, I would even be interested in which I would love to find more of these. Remember the which this was like back. Shit, this was pre 2020. I'm not even gonna say that nasty word on here, but pre 2020. We were on the 5th floor, which is just as nasty as that C word for attitudes and shit. But when we would we were listening to a lot of like audiobooks and stories and shit. And I don't remember how the story went verbatim, but I remember it was a really, really cool zombie story. And they're like trapped in this building trying to get out. And it was just like an audio series. And something like that for Underworld, I think would be awesome as an audible series or an audio series, but not how they told the stories in here, of course, just more in depth and just something that really gives you because like this story, it almost gave you like, you could almost close your eyes and kind of see what was going on in a sense, or like feel you were there. Something like that, real descriptive, but kind of how these stories were, just better written, I guess. I don't fucking know, but that, I think this would make a really good audio. Yeah, an audio series or whatever.
I never looked it up. Is this straight up created as movies, or was this taken from like a comic or a book? Because there's a shit ton of vampire and werewolf.
That's a good question. I don't know.
So
I don't know
either. But or you want to do early want ratings on this movie, or you want to talk to it rated after?
Shit. Let's do early ratings for let's do early ratings for Underworld first.
Okay. So this I'm giving a 6.
Ooh.
And I'll explain why.
I'm listening.
Oh no, go ahead. Why don't we get talk to you? You can rate it first.
Oh, I'll give it a 5.5.
All right. So that I thought you were like, oh, really? This is good. Like really good. Like you got me there for a second. I was a little confused. All right. So the problem I have with this movie, there's some cool parts, but then there's some like, what the fuck is going on? This is not even like really continuing after the first one, like the last movie before this. What the daughter at all? She don't try to rescue the daughter at all in this movie. This movie is all about her, where not Amelia, the other elder lady who wanted to set up Celine so she could take power of the coven. So I'm like, okay, there's no daughter in this one. I was like, I thought it was gonna be a rescue mission where she's gonna be fucking up a lot of lichens and shit. Then the other part I didn't like, no Michael. They showed Michael escaping last movie, and she's like, Michael, looking out the window, like she's gonna go searching for him. We find out, I don't know if the actor, something happened to the actor, he couldn't come for the movie, he was doing something else, and they just wrote him off basically. But Michael, it's like the main key, his blood's the main key. They took him away, and they made it the daughter's blood now. And they don't like, oh, what happened to Michael? Blah, blah, blah. And then there's that new werewolf that is like almost hybrid. He's jacked, kind of like a mutation like in Resident Evil. And she finds out, she licks the blood and finds out how it's Michael's blood. So she goes, where's Michael? Oh, I killed him. It showed him hanging upside down, getting the throat slit. So I'm like, is he really dead? Because Michael is special. He heals. He could be dead. Remember, he was dead in the helicopter?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back somehow. His body heals itself from death. Mm-hmm. So they could, if they made another movie, they could bring Michael back. But it was just so weird that the daughter and Michael was not in that. The whole Underworld series, it was about hybrid Michael. Now it's about the blood. I want the blood so that guy can stay strong and get the blood. He says he was going to give it the rest of the likings to make them stronger, but I think he was lying. I think it's just for him to be the most powerful fucking.
It definitely was, because you didn't see him sharing that shit with anybody else.
No,
that was literally.
He wanted so because he said we'll go strong, we'll live forever, or
literally
something like that.
Just him, literally.
And Celine blood, and her blood too, because she has Victor blood in her. Find out her blood fucking can bring people back from dead. So I'm like, okay, so this whole blood wars really was about blood, 100%. I was gonna get
which I'm glad. Which really quick with that though, James, I'm glad that it was like that in the sense of it stuck with the title, yes, which is like a cliche thing to say, but it made sense. Because you're like, blood wars, why? It's not just because of the blood. It's not because the blood shed. It's also because of, I mean, yes, Michael's blood was shed, but this dude was also drinking his blood so he could have, because Michael was a hybrid. So he had like the hybrid, not fully hybrid, but he kind of had some of that going through. And James, I got to tell you something. I hope you're ready.
What's up, Jizzy J?
What's up, man? Holy shit.
Buddy?
Yo, it's been too fucking long.
What's up, everybody?
No. Fuck this. It's been too fucking long, yo.
My hair finally grew back.
There you go.
It did. Getting there. Holy shit, man. How the hell you been?
I'm holding up. Can't complain. How's everybody doing? I've been watching.
Doing good, man.
Good, man. Fucking Podding, gaming, same old shit.
I've been making little steps here and there. I finally said, "Fuck it, let me set up at least the camera." I'm using another headset for a mic right now, but I got to figure out a way to situate all of my shit. But yeah,
it's awesome.
You gonna be back on screen soon?
I'm coming back.
You need to.
I'll be back one day.
I'm coming back.
You've been saying this to us for the past like 6 months. You're like that dad that's like, yeah, I'm gonna be back. Dad finally found the milk.
Let's just say this. Obviously, I'm back.
We'll see.
You didn't lie.
I'm on a stream. I'm on a camera. There you go. I'm back. Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the worst damn gamer ever, bringing you hard with this 31, my boy James.
Yes, man. Oh man.
Fuck, after this episode, he's like, "Oh fuck, I forgot the cigarettes. I'll be back."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Beer. Well, I'm telling you this right now on the live. It's episode 200 of Popcorn. You're a very big, important part of that. So you better fucking be there.
That's why I was like, I gotta, and I was gonna hold out, and I was like, man, let me just because you kept messaging me, and I was messaging you. You're like, dude, you didn't answer my question. I'm just like, listen, I was just gonna pop in. You know
because look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I reached out to Ibrahim as well because he's also a very important part of Popcorn and Pints. And a week and a half ago, he said, yeah, and I hit him up the other day. I'm gonna drop. Listen, I'm dropping a link to both of you guys. You guys are very important parts of the show. So whoever the fuck shows up, and I hope you both do seriously because it's just like it's so dope to where because I know I'm at episode 500 and something with this, which fucking ecstatic about that. Yeah. But to where like Popcorn and Pints, because there's so many of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like to have at the very least, I'd say 3 of us always being on, or at least 3 of us being a part of it all the time.
What's good, Blanquito Chris? How you doing, my brother?
For 200 episodes it's awesome. Motherfucking Puerto Rican Chris, yes, and he is going to be here on episode 200 for Popcorn and Pints. So he's going to be there.
I gotta come through. You know me, man. The last time I was on a big thing with you guys in the Scene Snobs, I cut all my hair off. So I'm not doing that again. I just got it back. I just got it back. But
you upset a lot of people when you cut your hair.
Did because you had that long, thick.
Like my wife was like, "Is he really gonna cut his hair?" No, I'm like, "Yeah, he's cutting his hair for charity." And all the girls in the comments, "Oh, he's gonna cut his hair." They're getting all upset and shit. I think you started crying.
I was not crying. I was sitting there while you guys are still doing this screen. We hit the goal, so.
Oh shit! And going back to that though, the funny thing was, and the cool thing about that was, nobody coaxed you into doing it. That was just you were like, "Yo, I'm just gonna cut my hair for it." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Best way to fool immigration, yeah. See, that's what happens. Sturdy kept making jokes.
I don't even want to make those jokes right now because
Sturdy kept making jokes about calling ice on me so much that they actually came and got me, and it was a whole big ordeal. I've been gone. I was in a camp for about 18 months. It's fine. I'm kidding. I probably shouldn't be making light of it, but at the same time, I'm brown.
Just make sure you got your papers straight, man.
Yeah. You got to get the paperwork straight.
And anyway, Puerto Rico's part of the U.S. anyway.
Trump don't
exactly.
Know, right? So you're good.
Our president doesn't know that, James.
Unless they think you something else.
Yo, I'm completely kidding. I was not abducted by ICE. No, but I'm glad to see you guys. You guys were on the road with me quite a bit, keeping me up late at night and early in the mornings between you guys and the Scene Snobs. So thank you. Part of the reason why I'm still here.
Got to entertain.
I still know what's going on.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen either one of these movies though, Chris? The Underworld?
Of course I did. Also, I wouldn't even be here. You know I like to talk my shit.
Underworld, Blood Wars, and fucking what was the Resident Evil one? Retribution. Those.
Yeah, I made sure that I double checked today to make sure that I remembered the right movies, went back and watched, and I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, which one were you guys talking about just now?
Blood Wars. Underworld Blood Wars.
That was the first
one. I was complaining.
That's the last one.
I'm saying that's the first one that you guys were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
All right, bet.
Yeah, and I was complaining about how the daughter or Michael was not in this movie at all.
But they just keep mentioning them, and they just
that's it. That's all it takes. It's like, oh, Michael, oh, my daughter. Where's your daughter? I don't know. I don't know. The only cool part is,
well, no, she said
she did upgrade. She got some fucking like phantom fucking power.
Yeah, but
she or James. She promised her daughter though that she wouldn't
that's stupid.
go after her. She wouldn't look for her because of the lichens and shit.
That's dumb. So she's gonna let her be a lab rat and another other group of people. Was it the humans?
No, because nobody knew where she was at the time until she came back and saved her mama.
She got her ass kidnapped in the fucking 2 movies movie before last week.
Listen,
Mick Manhattan, what's up, Mr. Scene Snobs?
Sometimes that happens, man. Sometimes people get kidnapped.
And her power is an upgrade. She could like if you played Elden Ring, there's Ghost Hound Step or something. Ghost Step. It's like that. She can warp behind you.
Yeah, like
I don't know if she got stronger or not.
Lord of the Rings: Shadow of Mordor, where you can kind of like go outer body and then go behind.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so much wrong with this movie.
There was.
That was after she had when the lichen killed her or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The lichen killed her, and then those other vampires, because that whole thing, which
she went in the ice.
Yeah, they kind of showed it earlier. They kind of foreshadowed it earlier when the one girl was in the water with the cloths and all that around her, how they brought her back and did all that stuff to her. And then
you see it brings you back. The girl volunteered into a slumber so she can go to the other world to experience it. They weren't dead bodies that were bringing back to life.
Hey,
Selena's just special. They put her in the special water.
It could have been something they were working on, or maybe she just wasn't all the way gone. And
if anything, they should. That's another thing. She disappeared. They should have shown what was going in her mind when she's there. Did she really go to another world, underworld, or something? And she made a deal with death to bring her back. Shit,
considering it's called Underworld, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
show some link between the two paranormal entities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vampires, and hey, maybe this is where their true power comes. Who knows?
But then she was gone for like 10, 15 minutes of the movie. At the end, like there's like a whole 10 minutes went through that she shows up out of nowhere. How did she get there to hit back here with the whole clan, the whole coven of the Nordic coven within hours, where it took them fucking forever on train to get there?
Because listen, she's her. That's how.
I don't know. That's the part I feel like we were talking about earlier. It feels rushed. It's like they said, "Fuck, we had to take this chunk out and smush it."
And that's why I said with the whole like I don't want to say racist, but if they were to do a reboot or a remake of this, because they love doing that shit, I would say if you're gonna do it as a series, because then you could get more in detail with the stories. You get the backstory, which people do like that stuff a lot. The backstory still give the good action, all that fun stuff that people like to watch, and then you can guys, you know what I mean? But
and another thing, does Underworld have a huge following?
I don't know.
So they made 7 of them, right?
Maybe.
But they do. Sometimes they do that just to do it.
I mean, Kate Beckinsale. What's her name? Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, she's great. She's good, and she started off the series strong, and it was decent development and all that stuff between the characters and then the love interest. But at the same time, you're kind of riding a dead horse. You can tell the material's running out. You can tell that the writers they literally repeated the bullshit about the daughter like 100 times. They made the old fucking vampires seem stupid and retarded in this one. Like, and then it's like the young vampires didn't fill them in and didn't tell them how much changed, how the lichens are coming, and there's more than just, hey, people going at each other. Now there's like technology and there's like
tracers, trackers.
It made no sense. The way they
a bullet that drills into you.
Yeah, but then you got them just breaking necks of vampires. How?
Yeah.
And why wasn't that used more? The whole going back to the whole what you were saying, the drill bullet thing, because that was a cool concept. But I'm like, why wasn't that used more?
Yeah, it was once.
It was one time, and she cuts it out of him.
Yeah,
I'm like, so you guys don't somehow make this to hurt the werewolves? Like, figure out how to flip this on the werewolves?
I mean,
I didn't know they added this in. I don't know if this is in vampire lore, but Nightshade can poison a vampire.
I guess so.
What's Nightshade?
Nightshade's like part like a plant. Like peppers are part of the nightshade family.
Huh. Okay. Maybe that's why they don't like garlic.
The guy who stabbed Celine during their mock battle he said nightshade. He goes, he goes, your blood, you're strong, you're really strong, so you shouldn't die, but it's gonna paralyze you.
Yeah. But still, so many cool little bits about the story and this whole series, but at the same time, I feel like I said, they got too far away from things. It's ran on for long. It's tired. Some of the battle, even their stupid shit with some of the shoot offs, like they're like right in front of each other and they're just all missing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it I don't know.
To me, this is might be my least favorite out of them all. I think Rise of the Lycans is my favorite.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I will say this: when I first saw this, I was kind of like, okay, it's not bad. It's still, it's a continuation of the story. They fill you in right from there, from the last one. Like, and that's always cool when that happens because it's like you get right back to it, and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? But then they give you too much of all these other blips of all these other things that kind of you're like, okay, you're just beating it all down. It all down, like.
Almost filler. It almost feels like they're throwing just filler shit in there just to make it's like this movie needs to be this long, so let's throw that filler stuff in.
And then removing things like Jay said that like it's like they took that out and was just like fuck it, let's just mish it all together. But then they're adding other things in. You know what I mean?
Like what was going on with Celine.
Mm-hmm. And the daughter, and we need her, and we need the blood, and then all of a sudden they're just like, fuck it, we're out.
Yeah, we're out.
Well, no, you got to remember because the daughter came back and fucked shit up, and then they were like, you know what? On second thought, maybe we don't want those problems anymore.
What do you mean the daughter came back and fucked shit up?
When her daughter came back, remember at the end?
You talking about the end where she was dreaming because of she was having like a connection with her daughter?
Yeah.
Not during the war. You're not talking about when the white hair.
No, not her. Yeah, when she came back with the white hair. And then
that's not her daughter.
No, that's her. No. I meant fuck. Hold up. Celine. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Celine had her white hair because she basically died. So I guess when you do that water dip, it's what's it called?
Lazarus.
The Lazarus pit.
It's the
it's kind of like born again Christian. She comes out.
Oh gosh, she did baptism.
She did baptism. That's it. Dipped her in water and said, "Hey."
Well,
why they're up in the fucking Arctic, man? The water was so cold it just turned her hair white. That's what happened. It fucking sucked the color out of it. I don't know. But I was hoping Michael's gonna come back because it's been a while, and I thought he's gonna like his powers grew. Yeah, I thought he's gonna be like a fucking beating the shit out of people. But
he was. And that's because hang on. So when this one ends, doesn't she say they're going to look for Michael? Her and her daughter.
No. Oh, she thinks Michael's dead. Now they made it seem like she's going to go find her daughter because they did that. They had that psychic link again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Something about whatever.
I'm going to lower my rating down to a 5 for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to lower mine down to 5.5.
That's dope.
But it's still fine. Like, I like this franchise.
Yeah.
This is just one of the weakest moments in it.
Yeah.
I do like this. Like, overall, I like it. I don't love it. I had a good time with it. Will I watch it again? Probably not.
It'll come up. I'll probably sit through it at some point if it's on and just kind of have it in background noise. I don't hate it that much.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I hate it. It's just like one of those, because
I actually caught it on random one time and it was just like, oh, and I was only like 15 minutes into the movie or something like that, 15, 20 minutes in, and I was just like, okay, and then I just watched it all through. So that's why I was like, all right, it's not bad. But then going through it again, I'm just like, man, a lot as we keep watching these movies from our past and stuff like that, some of the cracks start to show more and more these days. Yeah. We start to really see how things don't hold up.
True.
That's true, but there's still those ones.
This one wasn't even from that far. This was from 2017.
This what was I gonna say? That's true, but there's still those ones where you're just like, I still love this fucking movie. I'm still gonna watch this movie.
Yeah.
But with this here though, it's like I said, they're decent. It's just for me, they're just not worth going back to.
Yeah,
this is your second time through, though.
Yeah. First time was watching with the wife.
Just
Second
got
time was to do a review, though.
You needed a voice.
So now I'm
Appreciate
like,
you, Mick. Trevor, what's up, man? Nah, you good. But yeah, I'll
How's it
explain
going,
what I
Trevor?
meant by that once we go to
Resident Evil.
yeah, whenever we get there, because that kind of plays in the role of some of the stuff.
Which do you have
That's a
a
little
rating
bit of
for?
an older movie, you know, at this point now. You know what I mean?
You got a rating for
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
When I first saw it, I was like, this is like a fair 6, almost 7. And then I watched it again and I was like, oh, it's just so much waste in here, and it's just repetitive, and there's just so yeah. And don't get me wrong, I know it's entertainment, but at the same time, and it did entertain me, but there's levels to this shit, man. Don't just entertain me.
Yeah, they even rip off the fucking Lucius story. They had another fucking secret werewolf and a vampire love thing, even though the werewolf was using her.
Mm-hmm.
But what the fuck? I'm like, wait a minute, you already did this. You did this with Celine and, well, technically Celine was a hybrid. It wasn't full werewolf, or Lycan, but still, same thing. Then it was Lucius and Victor's daughter, Amelia. I think it was Amelia. I forgot her name.
You figured though, right? And this is where, like, watching these movies, I've always was kind of like, not for nothing. After all this time, like, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of centuries, thousands of years, right? If you think about the stories of vampires and werewolves, and why the fuck, if all of a sudden you realize if y'all come together, it's crazy. Yeah. Why won't y'all just start fucking?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Your own baby, like she did.
Start a whole new race.
There you go.
And now you're the ultimate of the ultimate for everything.
Then you guys all be against the humans, you know?
Yeah, but then I bet they'd be in fear that then those will go just kill them all, wipe them all out, and just continue by themselves.
Yeah,
it's just fucking crazy.
Forget the regular vampires and like, yeah, you're right. You're right though. You're right, because shit, man.
Because why not? It's like, yo, you can have a daywalker, you can have a half fucking wolf beast vampire, unlimited life and strength, and just fucking do it, man. Stop fighting each other. Make love, baby.
Yeah. I mean, if they could, well, because you got to remember, Michael was still human. No, shit.
Is it too soon to say that this was kind of like a big old Diddy party anyway, where everybody like feeding off each other?
I got a question about her powers though.
What's that?
Which ones?
So, what was it from the blood from Marcus's father, where she could sit in the sunlight?
Oh, Celine?
Yeah. Because somehow she can go in the sunlight. Then she saved that one dude, brought him back, and gave him he drank his mother's blood, or she gave him some of her blood, and he can go in the sunlight now. So they became Blade. They came fucking daywalkers.
Yeah. So at that point, like, hey, can I get a little bit of that? Yeah. And then go around the camp, make all
then you all go in the sun.
Making friends with the werewolves, and then you take over the world.
Shit, she should have fucking donated her blood and sold it. Like, yo, give me $1 million. You're gonna walking in the
started a TikTok channel. You know, she could have been on What's Not, selling her little vial of blood. You know.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, but then you gotta have people like in this movie, the one Lycan that was trying to kill her, and every other vampire to get more of that blood. So that won't work.
That betrayal came out of nowhere too. I thought they were actually they actually showed a scene where she's training them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it was all a setup for fucking that bitch. Fucking just wanted her blood so she could be strong like Victor.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Well, stronger than that though, James. Because
I really thought she was taking on like the Blade role. No. Like Wesley Snipes is coming in and like, you guys are all bitches. You don't pay attention.
You guys are all bitches. You don't pay attention to shit.
You don't fucking predict the next move. You don't predict the next move. You're just fighting and punching and shooting. That's it.
Yeah, man, that whole fight in the cold and in the fucking when they just when the fucking Lycans just show up, blow shit up, and then it's turned into a brawl, and they're literally at one point like standing face to face, like 5 feet away from each other, and everybody's blasting and nobody's dying.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, I know. No one's dying. Like a 1,000 bullets are flying through the air.
Yeah,
no one's getting hit.
I mean, it happens. Oh God, there was another similar scene like that in fucking Resident Evil. This is just getting me.
There is. I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is fucking ridiculous.
I was gonna bring it up when we get there. No worries.
No, we'll be getting there soon, gentlemen. We'll be getting there soon.
Fucking, I hate movies that
got
do
my
that,
hair
man.
curling again.
There's a reason it's called a fucking Uzi and shit. It has a spread. You can shoot a lot of bullets at once. If you're 5 feet away from someone and you can't hit them with a Uzi, what the fuck?
That's like having a 12 gauge you're missing.
Yeah, with fucking birdshot. It spreads.
Oh Jesus!
It's fucking wild.
Lord. God damn it! That Blood Lake poster is gonna piss me off.
Hey, blame Mick for that one.
Bro, every time, like at some point during some of these episodes I watch and shit, I'm like, fucking Blood Lake.
Yep.
It's all over the place.
Still gets brought up.
It's that blood. Listen, Blood Lake is probably the most discussed movie on this podcast of all time, and it's probably just gonna be that movie. And you know what? Fuck it. It earned it because it's so bad.
It's like our Easter egg. Every episode it gets mentioned. You got what part of the episode did they mention Blood Lake?
How are they going to mention it now? How are they going to add it in there now? But I will say this: we're going to transition on over to Resident Evil Retribution. Ignore the date.
I'm going to get this out of the way really quick. I already talked about this the past 2 shows or something. My pet peeve about these Resident Evil movies. I'm sick and tired of these fucking movies starting where she's fucking kidnapped, knocked out, wakes up in the middle of a fucking floor with nothing around it, with a piece of paper covering her vajayjay, so I don't swear, and her top.
Good job.
Every movie, man. And she's confused. She's looking around like, you just did this the past 5 movies. I think you know what's going down. They got you. You're getting free somehow. The system fucked up.
Bro. and you, okay, hear me out. Everybody goes, the Marvel formula. Marvel formula. Like, these ain't fucking, they've literally been the same since part 1, and they don't even get it right.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Are they trying to make the beginning start like the new game? Like the new video game for this movie? Like that's how it starts. She wakes up on a table and she gets up. Where am I?
Yeah, somehow.
I don't know what they're doing.
Which I don't even understand because that was
so repetitive. It's bothering me. That's my pet peeve about Resident Evil. That's the worst part about it to me.
I hate that it's entertaining.
You said you hate that it's entertaining?
Yes.
The movies?
Yeah, this is along the lines of almost like the Fast and Furious. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you love it or hate it, but if you hate it, you still gotta watch it because it's entertaining and it still keeps your attention, even no matter how out there it starts to get.
It is.
See, I'll say this is. I won't even say this is a love or hate because I don't hate or love these movies. They're like. They're entertaining.
Okay,
yes,
they're movies that literally for the only purpose of keeping you engaged and take your money for 2 hours or an hour.
For me, it's a one-time watch franchise. It's a one-time watch franchise to where I'm not mad. I watch the movies like I don't feel like I wasted time. Like I mean, I hear me out when I say this. I do not regret watching Blood Lake the first time. Just to get it. I hate the movie, but I mean, we always have a conversation about it, so that's one. It was it got its watch from us multiple times. I watched it twice. James watched it twice. You watched it once.
Blood Lake has become that dude in the hood that you know, and y'all just wave by, and you're just like, hey, you just kind of keep it moving, so you're not really, you know what I mean?
You don't talk to him.
That's what Blood Lake is for us right now. It's turned into.
What's up, Bill? And just keep going.
It's like
it's kind of
game.
But before we dive into this movie, early rating, I gave this one a 4. James, what about you?
I think Resident. What did I give the other one? 5.5.
5.5.
4.5. Like Chris said, these are getting. It's like Fast and the Furious. It's like it just gets cheesier. but they're still entertaining in a way because the mutated zombies and shit are pretty cool looking.
They were getting better.
Fucking that big massive thing. They had my two favorite fucking zombies, the juggernauts that drag that giant fucking hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I love those things. Those things. Well, you just hear the sound, you know it's them. You're like, oh fuck. It reminds me of the game because you do hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know there's one near you because you hear the dragon.
I was gonna say the zombies for these movies, they definitely got better. I'll say
it started turning into World War Z. Fucking zombies and shit can use weapons. Yep. Now they're all in fucking Soviet uniforms.
Well, that is in the games too, though. That does happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
They had like every type of zombie in it. Like since this movie started, like the first movie until now, it's like they're showing like a small version of zombies evolving. To like all the other movies. You're like, oh, first they just drag. Then the next one, you're like, oh, they're a little bit faster. Then you got the running ones. Then you got the ones using weapons. It's like they're showing their evolution.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's cool. That's okay. I kind of like that, like in the aspect of like The Last of Us, how they did it as well in that storytelling, where the fungus infects you, and then you go through these stages of like decomposition, but you're still alive because the fungus is controlling you, and then you get bigger, and then more fungus just starts to grow out of you and attach to you, and that's kind of cool. But then for me to like, I guess what made those first zombies not apprehensive or coherent enough to do things other than chase you and bite you versus now a couple years later, relatively, you know what I mean? Because these are still regular humans. They're still within the same time frame. We're not like we're jumping 1,000 years, 100 years or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's like so quickly all of a sudden that the zombies learn to be able to articulate their, arms and things and know how mechanical things work. And like, I mean, you could, I guess, make the argument that the knowledge is there and they could just see it in your, I don't know, whatever.
I would say just to shoot the movie some bail, there is like time jumps in the movie, like years, you know what I mean? A few years here and there. So
yeah, but not crazy amount, you know what I mean? Like an advancement of like any evolution of a species, you know what I mean? That you go from chiseling to the electric car, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, movie's got a movie, man. Got a movie.
They even got this movie even came down with they finally got Alice's blood, enough blood to make where you can inject yourself and become a super fucking like she is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, and like you said, movie's got a movie, and that's the hard part about both these two series of movies, these two franchises, is that they're movies, they're entertainment, so you can't, like, everybody dogs on them for certain things because of continuity issues or things that aren't, it's fake, it's this, is that. It's like, yeah, but it's not meant to be. This is supposed to be an escape. It's not supposed to be realistic. We're talking about vampires that are supposed to be mythical and something made up anyway. You know what I mean? We're talking about zombies. So at the same time, like, let's enjoy a little bit of Mr. Scene Snobs up there's absurdity with it, you know what I mean? Let's remember that we paid to go see this to be enjoyed, and instead we just want to fucking pick the shit apart.
I love that. Listen. That's what we're here for. I mean, we got to talk about it. We got to pick it apart. We got to, if we got to shit on it, we got to shit on it. If we got to give it a hug, we got to give it a hug, and not that bullshit Drake song either.
Yeah. But as the budgets went on, the movies got better in some ways and not better in other ways for both these franchises, and it's pretty evident.
It's cool they brought some of the old cast back in this one.
Yep.
You know what I would say is for these, I would say for both films, I would say as they could progress, the visuals got a lot. No, I won't say a lot. I'm not gonna get crazy. I'm sorry. The visuals improved.
Yeah.
The story did not. Yeah. The story was still flat. I mean, Underworld, the story was better, I feel, going all the way through. But the stories were still kind of flat-ish throughout. And again, I'll say this. The same thing I said for the Underworld franchise, the same thing I'll say for this franchise, which really quick, what is your rating for this one, Chris?
5 as well.
5 and 5.
Yeah, I feel like they're both on par with each other. They both have their flaws in different ways, but they're about the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What up, Chad?
Hola, Chad. What's good, man?
Good to see you, sir.
But they're just, I think they make better series than they do movies. I really do, because then you could also like say I'll use Resident Evil because it has source material. Resident Evil season 1, game.
Didn't they already do that on Netflix? Didn't they make?
But I'm saying, but I'm saying if they reboot. I'm saying like a full reboot to where Resident Evil is actually using the source material. Resident Evil 1, season 1, Resident Evil 1, season 2, Resident Evil, so on and so forth. You could have the last episode to figure out how you want to transition the show that is going to the next move to the next game / movie. You know what I mean? So like this season, so like season 2 will be game 2, so on and so forth.
They already did. She wakes up in the middle of the floor with a piece of paper.
Not that bullshit, James. That's not how the game starts at all. That's how the fucking movie starts. But you know what's funny that you mentioned that though? I feel like now that you point that out, Chad's pregnant.
All good. All good.
That's what that means. Congrats, man.
He said, I'm late. I don't never like reading that.
I'm late. I overslept. What was I going with this? Yeah, but I feel with that, because again, you had the source material. And again, season 1 through 5 for Resident Evil would be dope. I will say this though. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard would make an awesome movie if the right people were behind it.
Yeah, it's got the right elements of like confined space for creepiness and all that stuff. You know, and the weird shit going on with the people in the house and everything.
Yeah, the old dude especially. And then you have all that land around the house and stuff. So you could do some. Don't make it like Texas Chainsaw Massacre though. Don't make it a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I call him Junior. But make it a Resident Evil movie. If you were to do part 7, because I know you have to make more story around it and all that, this, that, and the third, cool backstory even if you wanted to, but that is the one Resident Evil movie or game that I would like to see into a movie. If they were to do one into a movie, I think that one could do it. Part 8, I haven't played enough of it, so I can't tell you. But 7, yes. Part 8 is probably another one.
Is 7 the one with the red lady or something like that?
The tall lady? The
Major Dean or whatever, Madam. Yeah. What the fuck's her name? All right, so I kind of want Resident Evil to just be rebooted and redone for one reason, is because these were decent. But imagine them going back and actually, because the first 2 Resident Evil games, there was spottiness with story and it was all like out there at times. Because I mean, the art design, the storytelling and stuff like that was kind of out there, and nothing made sense with certain things that happened. So if they go back, remake it, and actually just fix the small plot holes and the small things that were wrong with the original, situations and stories and characters, and throw that on the screen and continue and go and give us all of those Resident Evils, like maybe by the time they get to 7, they show some time has passed and it's just kind of rebuilt a little bit type deal, you know what I mean? And that kind of gets you in this other situation. But again, I enjoyed it, but not enough. I really wish they would have just. And then this one kind of shows its age too, because this is from kind of a weird era of filming, right? Technology went crazy in the 2010s, and they had to try with 3D and all this shit. So there's a couple scenes where, for no reason, they're fighting or whatever, and it's like, camera's out here and there's something flying at the camera, but they're fighting there. Why the fuck do I care? The shit's already gonna stay on the action. You know what I mean? And then
what was it?
The James, 5-feet gunfight. It's like, come on.
What Resident Evil was it with the bullshit with the plane?
Duck and cover.
The what with the plane?
The bullshit with the plane landing on top
landing on the roof.
They landed on the roof and they stopped it with that big ass thing.
What the cord? The wire.
With the thick ass, they had, like, that was attached to that they had like attached to a post in the building, and they were like holding it. One big dude jumped on the wing of the plane. It was Boris.
Yeah,
pulling the plane and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they just stopped the plane from going off the building. 3 dudes just grabbed the plane and pulled it back like it was nothing. Ridiculous. Yeah, I know that bothered me too. That was funny. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Ridiculous. Yeah, but yeah, again, going on with both of these franchises, I probably won't watch them again Fun watches. Underworld overall better, but not
Same.
by like a shit ton better. It's better, but not by like a shit ton. And Resident Evil again. If it just Resident Evil, I think shit. I got a question for both of you.
What's up?
Chris, I think more so because you know the games a little bit more than James does.
Mm-hmm.
But still, for both of you, if this was Resident Evil was a different title, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you take away the names that are tied to Resident Evil, you take away Umbrella and all this, and you just call it something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'd like a little bit more?
No, it's the same. It's the same type of movie.
Or less?
It's the action and everything.
No, because honestly, I've always kind of thought about it like Resident Evil. Why is it called Resident Evil? I always thought the original name from Japan made more sense. Biohazard, because it's about a bio outbreak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like that right there kind of proves that point. To me, I guess that in my head that like it really doesn't matter because it would have been the quality of what it was, and I would have still been engaged playing the first game, even if they would have called it Mansion of Death or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I don't know, Evil Blood-Sucking Corporation Evolved. Like, what the fuck is this? I guess I'll try it and then I'll be hooked into it. Like, yo, it's a fucking zombie game. Like, this is puzzles and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah. For me,
and I once again, I still do not. I think it's a body. I don't know what's going on with the dude. What was it? Whistler?
Yeah, Wesker.
Wesker,
Okay.
look how he looks. He's stiff. He walks like he has no knees.
He looks like he's the
like,
original AI generated image.
Exactly.
He does.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly what that AI started with this movie, and it was Wesker, and it was bad.
Just
use
his normal body. Let him walk around like fucking normal. What the hell? They CGI in his body?
I don't know if they CGI'd his body. A lot of people ask that question online. Like, it looks weird. He just looks off, and just, maybe they're supposed to do that. But either way, I don't understand because how the fuck are we? Let's start at the beginning of the movie with just this one situation. Since you brought up Wesker, he's supposed to be dead. She saw him die. He's supposed to be like blown into oblivion or whatever. And then also he's on the screen, and she's just not shocked. Wesker.
Yeah, I know. She knew he was alive. Like, I knew it.
I feel like we got a sign that he was alive in the last movie. I don't remember verbatim because it was a couple weeks ago now.
I don't think so. I think the whole explode thing.
We may have as the audience, but she had no clue. She thought he was no.
Yeah. I think that's what it was more like. I think we more got like a wink or something. I think we got a wink. We got something from him to let us know he was still here.
Yeah.
But her, I think you're right. Yeah. That's what it was. That's what it could have been. That's what it could have been.
See, and he's also part of the reason why I like the things I don't like about this series is because he's just a continuing I don't know why it's so long running, why they're so enthralled with the character of Wesker, because he's pretty much gone already after like the third one, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, why do you guys have this fascination? I guess maybe they think they have to have this duality of heroism and antagonism between fucking Mila Jovovich's character there. What the fuck's her name again? Right?
Alice.
Why can't they? You know what I mean? So I think that's what it was. They just wanted that nice looking female with that, Chad looking, good looking Hollywood guy or whatever. Nice. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Damn, it takes you 10 minutes.
So I just realized it just hit me.
That's a long time, Mick.
Well, he's extra excited because Chris is back.
It just hit me. So as far as us talking about the ratings, right? I'm sorry if I'm talking too much and I'm ranting.
No, you're good.
It just hit me. So the reason why I put them on the like scale of 5, like I said, they both have their flaws and all that stuff. But for me, it's I have more fun watching Resident Evil because it's so ridiculous, and the darker undertones of Underworld kind of draw me in more with the story and the development that it had early on in the series and the franchise, which kept me engaged. So for a more serious, darker, but still fun kind of action-y tone, Underworld. But if you want just like a crazy fucking animated cartoon of a movie with people in live action on a story of a game you may have remembered, go for it, but don't expect that game because they make it like it's even a worse game than the game was.
Yep. That's true, 100%.
Hell yeah.
Bald, beard, and beautiful. Nice chat.
Bald, beard, and beautiful. Bald, beard, and beautiful. But now I was gonna say, one thing that I was talking that, which you guys both know, Henry, and got people watching. I mean, you guys heard my brother. You guys heard us gaming together. Henry, Hank, all kinds of crazy shit that I call them. But I was talking to him about these movies recently, and he was saying, because he's played through all the games, played through all the games, played through all the games, played through all the games. This is his this is his favorite franchise, video game franchise by far. And he was saying like there's a lot. He was like a lot of things that obviously because it doesn't follow the game how it should, well at all. But a lot of the bosses, he was like how a lot of the bosses were like some were like underlings to other bosses. He was like that wouldn't even that's not gonna, they wouldn't work together. That's not gonna happen. Like that there alone is just like, come on now. Which again, if you're coming from somebody who've never played the games, I think you'll have fun. If you like this type of film, you'll have fun with these. But even then though, like outside of Resident Evil being attached to the game, like say if you detach from the game because it's not really attached anyway, it's decent overall, but there is better zombie franchises than this. There's better zombie movies, way better than this, with the action and all that in it. But this is still a fun watch. And then going back to Underworld, just because we're on the last one of Underworld, Resident Evil, we still have another week. We still have 2 movies left. With Underworld, I'll say, yes, I'm retiring it from my watch, but I do feel like it is worth the whole franchise watch. I really do feel like it's worth a watch at least one time. If you're someone who's never seen them before and you have a friend, family member, significant other, whatever the case may be, that really does enjoy these. And the reason why I say that is because it'll draw you more into like sitting down, watching them and paying attention to them versus trying to go watch them by yourself. Like if it was to go watch them, but like I wouldn't. These aren't 2 franchises. Like I would say they're both worth watching at least one time. I'll give them both that, but they're not ones I would recommend. For me, they're not ones where someone's like, "Yo, listen, I want to check out a franchise, man. I want something that's like really gonna grab me." I'd have to really think about it, honestly. But I'm gonna throw out Friday the 13th all the time. But if it's something newer, I have to, James. That's my favorite horror franchise of all time. It has, because I've watched it so many times. It's not the best. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's my favorite. I'm not even gonna lie. But like that's something I have to think about. But it's this just wouldn't be it. And honestly, it's really tough with franchises when it comes to horror. I'm not saying that there's no good ones out there, but like as far as like top to bottom, and I'm not talking about fan opinionated and fan bias because I do that with movies that I love and I don't give a shit. I mean, we all do. I mean, I guess that's how you're supposed to rate them anyway, right? I don't know. But anyway, as far as like good films, that's tough. That is tough.
I'll tell you, I saw a trailer the other day and I was kind of excited for it. And it's been a while since I've been watching any horror movies or anything like that. Like I stopped watching horror movies for a while. I don't know why. I just started feeling weak.
I know why.
Like I don't know, man. Why do I keep watching all this shit and all this gory shit? And
what it was is when he left us, watching horror reminded him of us. He would watch horror and then go to bed crying every night because he wasn't talking to us for a while. He was busy. I'm not saying he was like ignoring us. There was no issues like that, and he was just too upset and too. You guys know he's emotional. You guys have seen him on Horror Search and Popcorn and Bites and his own channel, crying, laughing, singing, and doing Puerto Rican things. He's an emotional guy, and he missed us. And we missed him.
Chunk class 30 right now.
Listen, I'm going to say this. I'd be way more intimidated if it was your mother picking that up, trying to throw it. She'd be able to throw it through the camera and hit me, make it come back and hit you.
Yeah. It's like
which there is a story. I still want her to tell me.
I know. I know.
Maybe she'll see if she'll tell it on Popcorn and Pies episode 200. That'd be epic. Really quick. Let me tell you about this kid.
I mean, yeah, we'll see.
But no, I'm not gonna tell the story, but I do gotta say this. She did tell it over the phone talking to Chris. Or no, she didn't tell it, but Chris was like, "Ma." He was like, yeah. He was like, Sturdy wants you to tell a story about, I'm not going to say what, because the story's been told out here before, but I want him to tell it on Popcorn and Pints if he can, or his mom to tell it more so. And yo, I've never talked to his mother before, but I don't think she was ever that excited to tell a story in her life. You got to ask Chris how happy she was.
She finally has a new story that overshadows that one.
like she won the lottery or something. She's like, yeah, I'll tell him that. Hell yeah, I'll tell him that. I can't wait. I'm just like, oh yes.
She one of those old school.
Because you know how, Chris, you know how some parents are back in the day, like, I didn't do that. Like, no, your mother was just like, listen,
Nah, hell
I'll
yeah.
do it again right now. Why?
My mother be like, I didn't do that, did I? And you'd be like, yes. She'd be like, shouldn't have been fucking around, find out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of those. It's one of those.
So the trailer that I said that I saw as I'm trying to get back into it, I'm gonna slowly ease my way in. Manhattan, what's up, buddy? Hair looks good, sir.
Thank you. What's going on? Look at you.
Back now, you know, I got some bangs.
I put you over there for a sec while I was getting ready. I'm sorry, James. I heard you complaining, and I was like, I'm gonna go slower. time to quit this and not go fast.
What do you guys think of the have you seen the trailer? Sturdy, I know you don't watch trailers, or have you seen anything about Until Dawn? Because that's based on a game as well that I was freaked out. I have by. Not. Like I like that game so much. I've watched other people play the game, got freaked out, and never played the game myself. So I need to play the game one day, just like the Evil Within. That's another one that's a trippy one that I wish they would make into a movie.
I actually have that game is the Evil Within 1 and 2. I've never finished it, but that is a really good game.
The feelings I would get playing it was, bro. I can't like that game's creeped and scared the shit out of me. No matter how brave I would get and start doing the shit and going, I'd have to stop and take breaks. And then if you do it with like headphones or surround sound, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you this:
some traumatic damage. You're gonna need better help. Not a sponsor, but can be.
Definitely can be. Fair. Oh man, you sponsor, I'll use it. But how's that? Shout out to BetterHelp. That's really putting the pressure on you guys. But
I'm here to talk about Magnum condoms. Your boy Jimmy Dorex. You give them to me, I'll use them.
I won't. You give them to me, I'll give them away.
So
that was my nickname in college.
Magnum?
Jimmy Dorex.
Jimmy Magnum?
Jimmy Dorex.
Dorex.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. But Chris, I know I've been telling you this game. I've talked about this game to you damn near 3 times a week.
Phobia, I know.
Fucking phobia.
Man, I'll see everybody play that shit. I'm scared. I scream.
That's fine. So does my cousin Jeff. It's probably a light skin thing. But yo, I'm telling you, you have to get on there with it. It is so damn fun.
No, it really is. Fortnite has a version of it that somebody created on there or whatnot, and you get to go through different zones and stuff. You got to use the equipment and stuff, and it's super fun. You know what I mean? So I get it, especially if you got the right people playing.
Yes, and so real quick, what you guys should go watch the stream, go watch the thing. But it was last Friday we were playing, right? I'm like, yo, we're using this equipment and stuff, and I'm marking shit off. I'm like, yo, I know what the ghost is, guys, right? So I go back on the truck. I'm like, I'm about to just close this up because I know what the ghost is. Yeah, man, don't be soft, don't be scared, don't be a bitch, come back in here. Blah, 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 blah. I'm talking all this shit. And I knew what the ghost was. Like, so you could like mark off to guess it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can like mark it up, mark off shit, and you can guess it. That way, if you do go in there and you die, you still at least get the guess of it. And if it's right, you're right. So of course I do this. I get inside the house, yo, door closes, 2 seconds later, done. I'm like, I should have never listened to you guys. I'm not listening to these guys no more. If I have it in my head, peer pressure cannot work on you in video games, people. If you're scared to go back inside like I was, and you feel like you know what the ghost is, just figure it out because you're gonna get more points or more money and shit. And I went and listened to these guys for no damn reason. I literally walk right in the house. Freaking my flashlight starts flickering, the door shuts. I'm like,
you know better. You watch horror movies. Don't go back to the fucking house. You black.
All the time. All the time.
Leave them asses in there.
But at the same time, though, it's easier to go back in a video game than it is like in real situations. Like, you know what?
Just live on because someone can tell the story. You know what I mean?
Well, Sturdy, could you see that game in that VR like last year?
Yes.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna I have a VR thing I can use on my computer, and I have Steam. So there's a couple of those games that are like that and similar. I am going to test. I just have to get it all working right first before I just go ahead and start messing with it. But once I get that figured out, yes. But Phasmophobia, oh my goodness, I would love it. I would love it.
That'd be awesome.
As long as the VR portion doesn't bother me too much, like if playing it too, you know what I mean? Because I know some people get sick or dizzy from it. I haven't played it in a long period of time to see that. As long as that part didn't bother me, because I like playing that game for a couple hours. Like last week, we got on at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Me and Jeff played till about 3:30 in the morning. I wasn't streaming the whole time, but we played till about 3:30 in the morning. And I'm just like, it's just because what it is though is it's again going back to childhood. You get locked in with the game. One, and then you get locked in with gaming with whoever you game with, and the conversations, all just having fun, talking shit, and all that. So it's just like, oh shit, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, it's you got to get the game. It's only like $25, people.
I don't be scared all the time.
What is that on the? You got it on the PS4 now?
5. I got 5.
You got the upgrade. That's right.
I can't play it because I still got Xbox One. They don't make
it's on the 5, and it's on the 5, whatever the newest Xbox is, and then it's on Steam. But it's cross-platform, which is dope.
Yeah.
So if you guys are on Steam, you can also play it on that too. And it's
Resident Evil 5 would make a dope fucking action flick, man. With
done right,
yes. You know what I mean? Going back and forth.
Hell yeah, it would.
Sorry, that just popped in my head because we were thinking about things.
No, you're right. If done right, that could be dope. Done right,
I enjoyed it playing it with somebody else, obviously, because the person you're playing with has some intelligence, not like fucking Shiva, who's annoying as hell if you leave her AI and she just gets in your way and dies all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a dope thing to see as far as them go down the line. Again, this is why I want them to do the remake and I want them to reboot it. Not even remake, reboot. Just reboot the shit, start it over, fix the small plot holes in the original stories. Fuck doing this, episodically with a series, even though it works better. But at the same time, I think I don't know. I think there's enough of that fan base that you can swing for the fence and get the big ticket money from it with, a big AAA title. You know what I mean? Going Hollywood with it. If they do it right, just fucking.
That's the thing, though. Is like with that. I mean, either way, they'd have to do it right. And another thing, I mean, because you could just, like we were saying earlier, like you said earlier, with The Last of Us. Take a page out of the book of The Last of Us.
But that's the thing, especially in this age, there's so many examples of other creative pieces of media that have done it right that there's no excuse anymore. There really isn't. At this point, it's pure fucking ego, I think, on the basis of the creator or the writers who are doing it.
Yeah.
I don't to already shit that's established, that's good, that's founded. Like, you have a foundation. It makes no sense. Why are you trying to build a house next to it in the fucking muddy, grassy field instead of on the foundation that's already laid for you?
Exactly. And funny you say that too. Like with The Last of Us, they're using one of the writers from the games. That makes
anytime you actually involve someone of the original creation that loved that thing and you actually let them have input and you just don't shut them out and just put their name in the fucking credits, and this is why the Mario movie works so good, right? Because Nintendo won't let somebody just come and do whatever the fuck they want with it unless you do what you want with it and it's great and it sticks to. Obviously, it's like a Nintendo product. You know what I mean?
In fairness, they tried that once.
They learned from the other Mario.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but the time
they learned
wasn't on its side. You know what I mean? As far as special effects and all that stuff.
I won't even give it the special effects thing. I mean, shit, video game movies in the 90s, they just did what the fuck they wanted. It was a completely different movie. Like, oh shit, Mario movie, or oh shit, Street Fighter movie. It was just something completely different. They just
that comes down to ego of an executive at a company who thinks they know better because they've been part of projects that made tons of money. Oh yeah, I know what to do. You can't treat every project the same. You can't treat everything the same, especially when there's things that you need to stick true to. If you're going to put the name of something there, it's like you got to stick to the legacy of it. You know what I mean?
And it's weird with like when they steer so far. I'm just going to use video game series because that's what we're talking about with Resident Evil and in general. But how they steer so far away from the source material, because it's like, think about it, right? like again, Resident Evil started back in what in the 90s.
Yeah, 95.
Still being made.
No.
Yeah, like 94, 95, I think.
No way. That was
when the PlayStation first came out.
The first Mila Jovovich one?
No, games.
PlayStation.
Oh, games. I'm sorry.
Games.
I was on the movie kick, and
the movie was like 2000, I think, or 2099, something like that. 2001.
Yeah, I think it was after. No, that'd be like 2002 because it was after.
Fifth Element and all that.
So
the first game came out March 22nd, 1996.
There you go. Yeah, 30th anniversary is coming up.
First movie came out 2002.
Which that's still kind of fast for there to be, even though, we've had, it's about the same from The Last of Us. If you take that as one of the last examples of something that was a new game that got a series or a movie.
I mean, at those times, though, they weren't doing that. They were just using pretty much the game title and throwing it together. But what I was going to say, though, so from 1996, and there's talks of a Resident Evil 9, which will come out, say, 2025, 2026, 2027. So let's say from 1996 to 2026, they're still making these fucking games. These games are still relevant to the point where diehard fans of these games are still getting them, still playing them. And then they're even doing like remakes of part 4, part 3, to where the fans are buying this. So like, if you do them, going back to what you were saying, and so if you didn't do a series, but you did a movie, if you do either one justice, but if you do a movie justice, that first movie is going to say a lot. That first movie would say a whole lot. If you guys rebooted this, and we're just like, you know what? Let's take a page from, The Last of Us and really use this source material. If you don't knock that first movie out the park, people aren't going to be in droves to go watch the rest of them in theaters.
What would you say was one of the success stories from our recent time of filmmaking on a reboot that you could be like, oh my God, they killed it. They actually brought it back and gave the life back to this with it.
Oh,
I can't think of one. You know what I mean?
Evil
I
Dead?
enjoyed Nightmare on Elm Street. Don't get me wrong. Evil Dead was decent, was good. The originals, for some reason, just hit a little different. You know what I mean? Like, it's good.
I mean,
good,
if you want to go with my personal, Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003. I love that. I like that better than the original.
That's a decent.
I know a lot of people they don't, but I do.
And the Friday the 13th, right?
I also like as far as when that type of stories, when that type of movie with the blood, guts, and gore. Like I like blood, guts, and gore in those type of films. The first one, though, I love what it did. Don't get me wrong, but 2003, 2003, that's my favorite one of TCM. So I would say that, but that's not. I don't know if that's necessarily across. I don't know if there's one that I can think of that's across the board. Like this is fucking better. Maybe The Thing, because it wasn't the original from like the 50s. If you want to use that,
but
I don't know how many people know about that, and it's different.
What's a newer reboot though? What's a more recent reboot?
I'm trying to think.
That's
what I'm thinking. I can't think of one.
Yeah, I feel like there was a section of time from like 2010, 12 to like 2017 where that was the magic spot. That 5 years of like reboot.
I mean, was the Evil Dead considered a remake, reboot? What do they?
The Invisible Man was good.
Okay.
See,
and that's also so like discerning to me because we have so many examples. Why can't DC get nothing right?
I know.
I think they're about to.
They might. They might on this next one. They might. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna stay optimistic, but I'm not very. I'm not rallying for it, but I'm staying optimistic. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Fair.
A Blob, okay.
A Blob.
Thanks, Grandizer.
Appreciate you, Grandizer.
I liked Spiral. It was sort of a sidequel reboot of Saw.
Saw, okay.
Oh shit!
And I still haven't seen it. That's the one with Chris Rock, right?
Yeah, that was good.
I haven't seen it yet.
I might have to watch that tonight then.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Actually.
Candyman.
Oh.
Okay. See?
That was good.
That's good.
But they see,
but these are still
just to play devil's advocate, I guess, Mick, or to argue it a little bit, not even really argue, but because they kind of called it a spiritual sequel from the original one. Not necessarily a reboot, but still, I feel like it almost falls in that same kind of range-ish. Some say that The Evil Dead was a reboot of 1970s movie, The Equinox. I've never seen The Equinox.
Me either.
Have you heard of that before, Mick? What Grandizer just said?
Ooh, I like that. I love when people come in the comments and give shit that's like
Equinox sounds like it would be a space.
They were both good. Okay, well that's good. At least we know we're gonna be.
Oh no, see the Grandizer. It doesn't have to be like the original was bad. It's just you enjoyed the remake better.
Yeah. You feel like the remake kind of was the way it should have been done, or a better version of it, where you were like, man, like it revitalized.
Doji could still be
Afterlife.
Great. Say that again.
Ghostbusters Afterlife
is the shit.
Scream 5.
And Scream 5?
So I thought Scream 5 was a really good reboot.
Which one's 5? New York?
No. Well, no, 6 is New York.
Okay, 5 was okay. I'm kind of with you on that one.
Yeah, because you like, of course, you like the New York one.
Well, no. That wasn't what I was getting at.
Here we go to Jersey, New
I was
York.
trying to just remember which one it was. Nah, I spent a lot of time driving in Jersey.
All right, quick, Nick. Better pizza, Jersey.
I got used to dog handles. I had some pizza. You know what I'm saying? I met some cool, weird people. I hung out near the Meadowlands. We're good.
We're settling this right now. Sturdy. What'd I say?
Mick, all right, Chris. Mick said that New Jersey has better pizza than New York City. What do you say to that?
You're bugging. There are restaurants all around the world that will import a filtration system for their water to make it.
I did not say that.
You're bugging.
I said that it's, in my opinion, as good.
It's decent. Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. Here's the fucked up part, right? Here's the fucked up. No. Because there's good pizza everywhere. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's good pizza in Jersey. There's good pizza in Chicago, Cali.
I've never had good pizza. No, Chicago's a cake. It's not a pizza.
You don't have to get their pizza that's, fucking looks like a cheesecake slice.
Yeah, you don't have to get the deep dish. You can get a regular slice.
I like Detroit. I like Detroit style.
Okay, Detroit.
I like Detroit style too, actually.
It's a good one.
But yeah, New York, it's just something about the water, something in the water, man.
It's the same thing with the bagels.
But New York has shitty pizza too.
Yeah.
There's places that you get like a slice for 99 cents. You know what I mean? It's like it tastes close to New York pizza. It's like it's in between New York pizza and Little Caesars. You know what I mean?
What is it?
Hey, I had Stewart's pizza many times.
Yeah. All right. Truck stop and fucking gas station pizzas, man. Let me tell you, okay? Or burgers or steaks. Like, you'll be surprised. Some truck stops got like steakhouses on the side of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. You get some decent food out there on the road.
Oh, the gas stations around us, Chris, and Schenectady have crunchy chicken.
Yeah. The crispy crunchy chicken with the honey glazed fucking and the blueberry biscuits.
And I had it. It is pretty damn good.
I did a family meal by myself. Pizza Popoli's in Detroit is fire. I haven't had it.
Holy shit.
But yeah, I mean,
I've never been to Detroit.
Yeah. Reboots needed. I think you leave Underworld kind of alone and you kind of let the movies just be their thing and just kind of let people enjoy the lore that was built in the comic book world and all of that stuff and just enjoy that for what it is and leave that alone. You can't go back and retell all of that. It's such a story driven. You got to get reconnected with the characters and fucking fall in love and hate and
I'm not. I agree. It doesn't need to. It shouldn't be remade. I'm not saying it should. I'm saying if they did, I prefer a series over the movies.
Yeah, I just wish they would have tightened it up when doing this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like there could have been 7s. You know what I mean? This probably could have been easy 7, 7.5s, but they're like 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Mm-hmm. But
just missed the mark.
It happens.
Mick, so you watched these a long time ago. You said you don't.
No, I watched the first 2 of each.
Oh,
and then that was
so
it?
you didn't go through all of them. All right.
Oh, it had to be it. It had to be it. Like I couldn't live in this anymore. Listen, all right, you had to invite me on. It's your fucking problem, so you're getting my rant. I don't know what happened after the light switch of Y2K and the year 2000 came about occurred.
CERN.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
CERN.
Oh, CERN. Yeah, it had to be. You know what it was? It was the fucking Matrix.
Particle accelerator.
The Matrix did
We
this.
shifted realities. Mandela effect.
I like the first Matrix movie, right? Anything after, I never want to see again. All right? I will take a hiatus on Popcorn and Pints to bring that one in. Because the first movie, primo.
Yeah, but Mick, hang on, time out. If you take a hiatus for Popcorn and Pints, you're gonna be punishing us all, including yourself.
Well, I might watch Tree of Life over any of the Matrix sequels.
What the hell's Tree of
Well,
Life?
you know what? If you want to watch that movie every week that we do the Matrix movies, you'll start it with one.
No,
with
we have
us.
other movies on the wheel. Don't give me that.
It's a movie that Mick picked. It's supposed to be boring as hell.
It is so boring.
So yeah, we have new rules on Popcorn and Pints, Chris. So remember how before, like if one person missed, they'd have to watch a punishment movie?
Okay.
Fuck my rant.
No, you're getting your rant. We all have to watch it. That one person does get roasted, but we're talking shit about the movie. But we all had to watch The English Patient a couple weeks ago because of somebody.
That's awesome.
You.
What movie?
The English Patient.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh,
You're
it's trash. Garbage.
You're lucky. It's
2
terrible.
hours and 45 minutes of boredom. It's just about a cheater and a traitor.
There's never a movie that you want to see the main characters die, so you're like, please kill them. So we can get out of this movie.
That's how I feel about Wesker.
Kill
this guy already.
Oh, that was tough. Dude,
That's a bad movie.
it was about pilots in the Sahara Desert. That tells you anything. No, here's my fucking my rant about, and in the early 2000s. So once that light switch happened and the Matrix like influenced everything, what did we get? We got cold, dark movies. We got Battlefield Earth. We got The One. We got X versus Sever. Ballistic X versus Sever. We got what else do we got? We got like tons of movies that had like this like blue tint to it, but it was all action and crazy neo-noirish.
I forgot about that point. I'm like, yo, I'm over here sitting here watching a fucking miscolor graded movie the whole time. And that's why these were birthed. Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil, I would say was a big influencer. You know, so I think Matrix kicked it off, but I think Resident Evil being attached to video games, the name, but having that look of those, I'll go with I won't even go with a neo-noir. I'll go with like a techno-noir, you know, like something like that. Like it's very techno, you know, like, I don't know, but it was. I think we all, like techno gothic type of life. Blade was also it, but did it right, you know. Yeah.
Because he was killing the ones that do. They were all vampires and they're getting killed. So no, but like it was just a terrible time. It was a terrible time. I think there's a lot of late 90s influence, especially music videos. Mm-hmm. I think music video, like goddamn
Rammstein and
fucking with every one of his music videos that were like techno noir. It's just wild. So like then we get these movies and it evolved into this thing. Thank God. You know what I think was like one of the breaking points to bring action back from this bullshit was the Expendables. In a weird way, and I don't want to give them that much clout, but I think these 80s stars coming back together was just kind of reminded everybody. It was like, oh yeah, these movies are terrible that we're watching. Can we get some action? And then of course they evolved from there. But yeah, these movies, I can't get into them. That's why I had to take some time from horror source 30. Long roundabout. So,
but in Underworld, you're 100% correct, and it would have been fine if they would have used the effect correctly. Because if they would have used that to convey scenes for the vampires and their deadish skin tone, I get it. But if the lichens weren't, everybody has this fucking bluish hint to it, like they're using blue ring lights for everything everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? It's like what's going on?
Some blue weird liquid or something. Yeah.
And this hit the cutting floor, and it got approved.
You want to watch a good movie? It's not a horror movie, but if you're ever interested in cinematography, and it's not like a great movie, but I enjoy it. I think it's a nice little romantic movie, and it's called A Good Year, and it's directed by Ridley Scott.
Okay.
And if you know anything about Ridley Scott, you don't have to love his movies, but they're going to look amazing. He's the same guy did Blade Runner, Alien. So like the guy knows how to shoot a movie. So when he did this movie, it was just like the thing I loved about it was like you get two sides of life. one in England and one in France. And the one in England is very blue. It's the tint is there. It's dark. Yeah. It looks not gloomy, but everything is sharp, but it has that blue tint that it's almost kind of like everything is shaded.
Okay.
Yeah, there. But then when you get to the vineyard in France, everything is bright. It's vibrant. It's light. You feel it. You feel the sun at all times. If not, you feel the beauty of the moon. And everything is just lit perfectly. And now again, I'm not saying you have to watch this movie. I think the wives would love it. Go for it, and I think you guys would like it too. But watch it for the cinematography, because like talking like that, that's when it's interesting to use that blue. When you're gonna have like kind of juxtapose it with something that's light, and it shows a change in the character and where they're coming from. I'm not saying you have to overuse it or overdo it, but it really works. And a lot, you see it even today with Denis Villeneuve. He does it really well. And he even changes colors and makes it work, so in Dune to Part 2, like especially with his whites and his blacks, everything was like clipped very dark or very light. And like, it was just really well done. Sorry, I know I'm rambling now about cinematography, but like, that's such an effective way to use it. But like these movies, it was almost like they saturated the whole thing just to kind of like,
if it's a vessel to help tell the story, to change a mood or convey an emotion or something like that, I get that. Like if there's a growth progression in the story and it starts out kind of dreary and gray, and then by the end of the movie the person like evolves or their life's changed and they have this great new outlook, and now like it's in full picture, full color, and all. Like I get cool techniques like that, but fucking Underworld, literally everybody just walked around with blue and extra blue eyes and fucking like the black leather reflected look blue in shades and stuff. Like I don't understand who.
Yeah, there was a lot of blue. But if they're green, they would die, Chris.
See, but that's what I mean. They could have done something cool since most of it was blue, like the vampires, they're Walking Dead type deal, walking, undead, the bluish, and then the lichens more like that red to convey the duality of the two sides. You know what I mean? More tone, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they just had everything all across every scene, everything. It's like they ran out of time, and it was an oversight or something.
Mm-hmm.
I got a reboot. Godzilla -1.
See, and that's a good one. But even that, still in our modern time, we only named what, 4 or 5?
4 or 5 what?
Like reboots that were decent. You know what I mean? From this modern time of filmmaking where it became the thing of rebooting.
I mean, I think it always happens. You're always going to see reboots.
And it's subjective anyway.
I think it swings certain ways when something's popular. So right now, franchises are popular. So I think reboots aren't really where people want to go. We're seeing a lot of forced reboots, like with Marvel and stuff like that, where they're trying to like update from past mistakes in storytelling or whatever within their tree, which is bonkers to me, because you created a world in the TVA where you can literally do whatever you want and not explain it and just be like, yeah, no, it was like that, but then it got retconned because fucking Loki or whatever. But it's so bonkers to me that like we're doing that. But whatever. I don't even want to go down that hole. But to bring it back, like a lot of things right now are swaying towards franchise, but because there's so much franchise fatigue, I think sequels are kind of kicking up a bit. Like we're gonna revisit we haven't seen a sequel in this movie for 40 years, so like we're gonna see it now. Bringing stars back, stuff like that. Like it seems like
Indiana Jones and all of that. Yeah.
It is a reboot of sorts, but it's good. I had fun with it. That's all I'll say. I had fun with every James. That too. I had fun with every James Bond and every Indiana Jones movie.
Well, so far I had fun with every James Bond movie.
The game seems amazing. The Indiana Jones games. I did a lot of research. I'm probably gonna pick that up sooner or later here.
Oh, I will say. Okay, first of all, that's one. That's a good reboot.
Day to Earth still. Tom Cruise.
No, the American version of the Godzilla and King Kong movies.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
They're building something cool here. We're getting a third one, third Godzilla King Kong movie.
Nice.
So,
I'm here for
we're
it.
gonna have to make another video. So
What's going on with the horror world? Is Terrifier getting another one?
Yes,
They're gonna get a
Terrifier 3
fourth.
coming out.
yeah,
What,
they're
fourth?
definitely gonna.
Wait,
Oh,
no,
the
third
fourth.
came out.
Yeah, it came
Oh, yeah.
out October. It was a Christmas.
Oh, I'm
one.
late.
and
Okay.
it's fucked up, man.
It's so messed up.
It's wild.
Wild shit.
It's
No,
so
thank you.
wild. I love that shirt. Dude, wait, I have a shirt I'm gonna wear when it comes in. I just bought it. It's an escape key from a keyboard with arms and legs and a face, but it has an eye patch on, running, and it's Escape from New York.
That's awesome.
You're right, Grandizer. I was thinking War of the Worlds. That was the Tom Cruise movie.
War of the World. Oh, that's yeah. I didn't mind that one. I just didn't like. It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But again, another one that was very blue. You know. Oh, okay. He's mentioning all those too.
But it is good that the movie industry is kind of losing. Well, they're moving away from the stigma of the past of doing video game movies or comic book movies and stuff like that. Thanks to Marvel and all these other things that have had such great success, because now there's just so much more material and content for the horror realm alone. I mean, we could go all the way back in the day. Give me a modern day cool slasher, brutal fucking slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? Give me a cool fucking damn, what was another slasher game or another Silent Hill. Like redo that and do that better. You know what I mean? Like
I think they are actually. I think they're making
really
it.
do that.
Yeah, they're actually making another Silent Hill movie.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's tons of horror
Right.
games, and there's tons of things that even if it's not just a straight horror game that had horror elements in it, one that pops in mind is like Dino Crisis, and that's just a bonkers game. It's basically Resident Evil with dinosaurs and all that stuff, But at the same time, there's elements of that of surprise and jump scares and all this other stuff, and the survival instinct of it, of like managing your inventory and stuff like that. I feel like that's one of those things that movies don't really do that great in giving you the peril of like in a survivor situation like that, or like Last of Us, like scavenging and trying to look for ammos or food, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like if they can convey that in a balance on the mix of the trials and tribulations the characters are going for in a movie media, I think it'll be gangbusters worth the success, and people just stay in that story so much more. You know what I mean? Like I try to think of myself like, what the fuck would I be doing in this situation? You know what I mean? Like Train to Busan, or that show from Netflix with the kids in the high school, like the outbreak breaks out. It's like, yo, what would you be doing in this situation? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Panicking.
Obviously, at first, right? Like, but that's a good thing. Somebody's got to have a cool level head. So hopefully if that situation ever arises and you're in it, you're that one that helps, maintain control in order to, get to the end of the road there. Cause it's going to be a long, hard one.
Looking back, I told you guys you should have fucking played this game, man.
That's one of those times in your life when you easily, really quickly just realize like, no one's coming to save me. I'm out. Like I'm doing me. You know what I mean? You around, we help each other, we're cool, but not for nothing. I got to keep going.
I gotta go.
I got to keep going.
I love it.
I gotta go.
I missed you.
Yeah.
I didn't see these movies, so I can't judge. I'm just like,
no, you're good. You're good. It's
Resident
about
Evil,
what you think.
I'm kind of like,
I feel like if you would have actually watched it, you would have been somewhere in like the 2-3 range because of how bad and incoherent some of the story was and how they get repetitive with certain things. You would have nitpicked the cinematography with the blue fucking filter. You would have nitpicked shit that didn't make sense with how the actions occur. Like you literally would have been like, yeah, this is garbage. Like this one was garbage. But
he would have had a rant every episode. He would have had a little big rant every episode.
You know what fucking also pisses? Everything in the 2000s looks like a Christopher Lambert movie. Every Christopher Lambert movie is blue. Everything he's in. It's just dark. He's just dark. That's what it is. Raiden. Look at Raiden. Raiden shows up. Everything turns blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens. Boom. He cannot be photographed in anything else. And that pisses me off because I guess it sparked this interest.
I have to have a word with that gentleman.
Somebody watched Fortress and was like, "Let's let's start a revolution in cinema."
I mean, even fucking Highlander with the lightning bolts in the blue and
Blue.
Blue.
I'm so excited for that's going to be rebooted. Henry Cavill.
Really? That's cool.
I'm down.
That's
in.
cool. I'm in with it. I'm in with that. He's decent. They got to figure something out with this Batman and Superman though.
They did. There's a new Superman coming out.
I know. I'm hoping it's worth it though. I hope it's good. I'm tired of seeing Superman and Batman, bro. Like, there's so many other characters in DC. There's so many other people in the Justice League.
That is fair.
Like, I'm just so tired of seeing it because they can't just get the beginning right. At this point, I'm like, yo, say fuck it. Just fuck it and keep going. Just keep going. Like, let's hope as you go, it gets better.
Agreed.
Yeah, I keep trying to make the same cake with the same ingredients and getting the same result. It doesn't make sense. You're missing something, or you're not doing something in the right order.
I think I have a little faith in James Gunn. I think it's gonna be good.
That's the only reason why I'm like, oh, we'll see. Because of Suicide Squad, because of fucking Peacemaker, because of the Harley movie and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians
you know what
Galaxy.
I mean?
Yeah,
Exactly.
those right there. And like he made a lot of good movies I enjoy, but those right there though, like I'm like, yeah, he can do it. Because his 3 movies and that Christmas special, are more tightly wound and perfected together.
Yeah.
Than anything else in Marvel, in my opinion. And I think he can do that. I think he's a fan of DC so much that he can do that there, and it'll be really effective.
Nice.
Great.
Maybe they'll start to realize that you got to get somebody who knows the material and is passionate about it and let them do it. You know what I mean? Let them do their jobs.
Yeah. We're gonna see. It's gonna get crazy. That's all I know.
It's going
to get wild. We're gonna be in our underwear. We're gonna be dancing on the ceiling.
We're gonna be looking outside for pigs flying. Like, yo, the hell freeze over, pigs flying, because this was good.
Yeah.
We need some a new good horror movie franchise though. That's for sure. I know Terrifier is on a rip right now, but I kind of feel like we're missing something. We're missing something.
I could take a break from horror movies, like new horror movies. There's
enough going on in the world, right?
The world is enough.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I stopped watching them, because I was like, man, I'm not feeling very good, and there's so much violence and anger in this world. Like, is this causing me more? Like,
nah, I love it.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Maybe the ESRB was on to something back in the day, you know. Maybe they were on to something. Maybe there was a slight bit of influence, considering we call people influencers.
Yep.
Oh
yo, since they're doing all these fucking crazy slasher cutesy movies like the Pooh movie and fucking Snow White and all this other shit, can we get a fucking evil Teletubbies and evil Care Bears?
There you go.
I want to see all the different styles of Care Bears and all the different styles of like rage. Like, one's Mutilator, one's like.
Yo, that'd be wild. They made a horror movie to Care Bears. That'd be crazy.
The Teletubbies could be real sick and diabolical because they had the TVs in their stomach, so it's like they can go do some shit to someone you care about.
Teletubbies was creepy anyway. I used to watch that. I'm like, what the fuck?
They did that with. They did that though. They did that with the. Was it the Banana Splits or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, Friday Night at Freddy's.
Yeah. No, the Banana
Splits.
They
did that.
Oh yeah, the Banana Splits. That's right. Yeah.
The fuck was the guy's name? The director.
I don't remember.
I forget.
I liked it. I thought it was a weird, gruesome movie. Five Nights at Freddy was cool.
They're making part 2.
No, that wasn't cool. That's not the one I'm thinking of. Willy's Wonderland was cool.
I like Willy's Wonderland.
You know, sturdy with fucking.
Five Nights at Freddy was fine, but it was a drama.
I heard that too. Reboot of Starship.
That next one's supposed to be darker.
I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, are we having fun, or am I watching The English Patient Part 2? Because nothing happens and everything's dark.
Nice. Another Starship Troopers. That should be all right. I mean,
Yes.
what's wrong with the first
Neil
one?
Blomkamp, who directed District 9, is
Is it
taking over.
This is a reboot, right?
This is gonna he's adapting it from the book himself.
Oh, okay.
What's A24's newest project gonna be? That I saw the other day a headline or something that they're taking.
I mean, they got a lot of stuff.
Aaron, didn't I just send something about A24 in the group or to you?
You don't say. I don't remember. I don't know.
Our group.
I
forgot about A24 is coming out. I forgot what the fucking movie was.
I was surprised that it was them because I'm like, aren't they really known for more like horror and dramatic films? Which, by the way, I went and saw what is it called? We Live in Time with the kid that plays Spider-Man with
and Florence Pugh.
Yes,
yeah.
Bro, that they it's a tearjerker, right? It's a kind of a serious love story. There's things that happen in it that I'm sure tons of people connect with. They've lived themselves, I'm sure, but I was surprised. I was very surprised that shots were good. Lighting was like, obviously they know how to make a good movie, but this is just like outside of the realm. Because when I hear A24, I just think horror movie, creepy slasher. You know what I mean? I know we saw X and that was a lot during the daytime too and stuff, but it was just weird to see that production company doing something so different from the wheelhouse that you kind of expect them to be doing. And they did a great fucking job. Like I left with tears rolling down my fucking eye. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
That actress, by the way, she's awesome. I'm starting to like her more and more. That's the same chick that plays fucking Black Widow's sister. Yeah, she's in a lot of shit recently coming up little by little. She's doing a great job.
Be a big one, big star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she getting there. And now Thunderbolt's coming out. That's gonna be fun.
I hope so. I'm hearing good things, so I'm excited. I want to check it out.
Yeah, I seen the trailer for that the other day. Finally, I was like, "Oh, it looks like something on stream when it comes out." Maybe I'm just over Marvel, honestly. Just
it's not that I'm over them. I just need to like. I don't know. I'm hoping this next stage kind of gets it back to that same feel of excitement and anticipation and vibe that we had when they first started with MCU, where we were wanting to see the movies every couple months. You know, May, June was crazy every year for like 7-8 years. You know what I mean? It was their time. Like, it doesn't care who you are or what you got. If it's coming out, you know, you kind of fucked because you're up against Marvel there. So I want them to get back to kind of that vibe and feel. Like, I get it.
Well, Hollywood's dying right now. They ain't having anything at the moment.
Yeah, but we'll see. But then that just means, again, like we said before, like even like with the strikes and stuff, then other people who are ambitious like us who got a camera can just go try something and see what
that's
they can
what's
do.
Going to be. It's going to be. It's just that. I think that's what the industry is ultimately going to become. Will you have a movie industry? Of course. There's always going to be like sort of a centralized thing, but it's not going to be as big as it was. But right now, especially, and not getting political, but it is a movie-based thing, with China blocking all movies, U.S. movies from playing. This is the summer season. That's huge. That's a big deal.
And there was a huge shift to a lot of production being done over in fucking China anyway for years and years and years and years. So it's tough. What are we going to do? Go to Bollywood?
But that's gonna, like, Hollywood's already dying. Cinemas have been slowly getting slower and slower, and it's sad. It's sad to see, but and with Hollywood, they've created this thing, this sort of monopoly in a way that's just sort of collapsing in on itself because you've taken over so much. You've allowed no new creativity to really come in, and you are literally strangling the creativity that you have. All the creative types that you have there, and either draining it out of them or drying them out and making them leave the industry completely. And it's wild. It's wild to me that it's just this amount of greed and is just destroying this industry so much. But you're right, Chris. It allows for an indie boom, and that's what I do love. A good indie boom. And I would love to see that happen.
Which maybe it'll bring us back to really good storytelling. With these films. Because with the indie thing, I mean, because we pay attention to that just because where we are. I mean, not all, but a lot of them, like the ones you really pay attention to, they have to, if the visuals aren't that great, they have to at least have a good story.
Yeah, and I'm saying this. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, are you not gonna be too interested in it? If it could look. I mean, we've seen Hollywood films that look gorgeous and the story's garbage, and you're like, okay, it was beautiful, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. The flip side to the coin on that though is like, the creator can either choose to take its time and get it right, or they're gonna feel like this is the gold rush, this is our opportunity, so there's going to be a lot of rushing stuff, and it's going to cause a lot of like mediocre stuff to be put out, and it's kind of like, but you accept it, and if it's good, it's good. If not, you know what I mean, type deal. So it's kind of a double-headed sword, or two-sided sword. Because
I get where you're coming from with that, Chris, because there's always that when there's change, as far as, let's just say, with creation, when there's something new that's coming, some sort of, whether it's music, movies, whatever. But at the same time, those that sit back, study, take their time, kind of learn from the mistakes that people are making that are rushing out there, are going to be the ones that last and stick around anyway, because they're like, okay, this person did this. Like, say, for example, with the oh fuck, well, like, how people can use Mickey. What's that? What am I thinking of? Like the copyright shit, whatever that is.
Yeah. Once the copyright runs out,
and how people were just jumping. You see how some are just jumping it for like every little thing that's coming out, and then there's a few people that are just like, let me just wait and kind of really create a story around this, make my own story around this, not just throw something out there just because we can, and boom, and those are the ones that are really going to stick around.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to come down to you being able to see the difference in the quality and the care in the product, right? Because somebody loves it, they're going to spend that time and attention on it, even if it looks like it was done rushed. If they hit all their, T's and dot all their I's, it doesn't matter if it's rushed, as long as the quality product's there. You know what I mean? So everybody's going to be doing things at different paces. But again, like, I feel like there's going to be a bubble of all of this influx and saturation eventually, but it'll wean itself out like everything else. Survival of the fittest.
Definitely.
But, okay, so
well, there's an old saying in filmmaking that I don't know who said it. I'm regurgitating it, and it's not a smart thing or anything like that. But like, I always thought it was clever. Was that you can have a cheap movie. You can have a fast movie.
Yeah.
Or what was the third one? You can have a
good movie.
A good movie. You can have two of those. Which ones do you want?
Yeah.
And it really is when one thing's always not going to match up. Like it's like if you make a fast and cheap movie,
yep,
it ain't gonna be good.
Yep.
But if you make a cheap good movie,
yep,
you can go places.
Yeah.
If you make a
take some time.
Fast good movie, you can go places. You can make some money.
Yep.
Like it all depends on where it's at. But if you make
that goes with anything in life. You want to build a house, you want it fast and cheap, you better be ready for the shit that's gonna come your way afterwards. You know what I mean? Your mechanic, your chef, your food restaurant.
Anything,
you want your steak
want
fast and cheap, go ahead. If you see even steak, like you never know. Yo, with all of it, just because Mick's been on this bit of political kick lately and all that stuff. Yeah, I'd be watching you, I'd be seeing you. I see you seeing me hearting your shit out. No, I know, no. Believe me, I know you're not like trying to get into all of that. I get it. Do you think with like all of this, and this is directed to everybody, obviously, with all of the kind of world that we're living in, where there's attempts at censorship and trying to kill apps and trying to do all this stuff, do you think eventually one day somebody might come for our horror genre? You know what I mean? And just be like, nah. Do you think that'll be a time when video games start to go? Do you think we're headed there because of it all?
Part of the plan.
You know what I mean? And that's the tough part. So it's like, if you had to gauge, if you could have some foresight into the future, like how far would you think we are from that point where
so maybe not the president. The president is sort of the forefront of the agenda and he's calling shots. But that Project 2025 is a Christian nationalist-based agenda. And not to get into specifics of it all, but like, yes, there's a ban on porn to be called for, which is already people have put legislation in there to be voted on and stuff like that in certain states to finally get it out there. They want to drum up old stuff. They've already talked about overturning same-sex marriage. They've talked about so much, but regardless, like to say that they're gunning for porn. They want the First Amendment as long as it applies to them. And why do I say it applies to them and where it should apply to all of us? Meaning that if they don't agree with it, it's deemed outside of that purview. So, and it's disturbing, of course, to say the least, but it's when you look at this and like what's going to come next, like a lot of people ran on like a lot of OnlyFans workers and a lot of restaurant industry, bar industry, stuff like that ran on like, oh, there's going to be no tips, and voted for that. And in reality, that was never going to be the case. And many times they're trying to outlaw this, that, and the other thing, like OnlyFans, porn, things like that. They are coming for, they're already trying to cancel PBS.
Which is
NPR.
Crazy to me, which is absolutely nuts to me.
And now they're going after Miss Rachel. You know, so like there's these things like they're going like it's of course they're coming after horror. Of course they are. Comedy was always like one of the biggest truth tellers in reality. And now that's even become so skewed because of comedians that align in this way that just spew the lies, and that's fine, and it's all part of the comedy. And then at the end it's like, well, I'm just a comedian, you know. It's like great, but then you have but you have your paragons of it and such. But another one with comedy being that horror has always been sort of based in societal realities, and kind of woke people up in certain times, and that's why we always see the change in the evolution of horror. And sometimes it swings back one way or another, but it's always steeped in whatever society is deems now, because currently written within that world. And that's what I love about horror. It's almost like a mirror to society, even more so than what comedy does. The comedy, I think, makes fun of what we should be awake to. I think comedy calls out and makes fun of. Whereas horror, I think, holds a mirror up to society and says, this is what you look like.
I was going to say, do you think that that's something that's needed in society, though, to have that reminder, like, hey, this is what you could be? Or do you think it's out of sight, out of mind? People won't be that way if they don't know they can be that way.
No, all free speech. I mean? No, there's no influence on it. Like, listen, I'm not saying that games and movies don't influence processes or decisions or things like that, or views. Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course. And but not in a way where I think that's the driving point. And like, I think that it's always been a sort of a deference from the actual what's the problem. Yeah. So whenever they would always talk about, well, video games, are they causing kids to go violent? And it's like, are you like kids back in the 90s, how much soda did we drink on our own because we were just on our own? How much wrestling did we watch? How much violent stuff was on TV where all of our heroes like Walker Texas Ranger and shit like they were on network television and like kicking and punching people. But when like boys who liked video games that also had those elements played or went and saw certain movies, it's like, oh, is this movie too much? And it's like, or is this video game too much? It's like we watch it 24/7. And that was sort of our iPads and tablets and stuff was like that TV, that what we were seeping in. So like when video games came around, it was like, of course they're going to blame that. And of course they always blame horror. It's anti-Christian in their eyes. When in reality, again, I think it's more Christian than you see in Christian movies because it's disingenuous in Christian movies the way they are. It's you either have to accept God or you're not going to redeem yourself. Whereas with horror movies, it's you have to drudge through hardships to redeem yourself, to get out of this, to come out to the other side. And you have to, and horror in life is real. It's not something you can just pray away.
You hit that point on the head with, for their advantage or for their convenience, right? Because then why don't we make the argument that, okay, if all of the things we're exposed to is influencing us, that means you're trying to influence us as well. Duh. So and let's be honest, you go to war.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a lot worse. That's a hell of a lot worse than me playing a video game.
You really kill people. That character on the screen, that was just another character.
They stopped saying that about video games when they realized that video games help kids who grew up on video games who joined the military generally work well as drone operators. Mm-hmm. So like
faster reflexes, they have good reading comprehension, it's like puzzle solving. There's so many great things and aspects to playing video games and stuff like that. And now people, I mean, just a couple of years ago, somebody got into professional racing by winning a contest of all gamers that race on race sims, and he became a professional driver out of this contest for just playing Gran Turismo on a fucking sim racer. You know what I mean? There's great applications to it all, but at the same time, like
listen,
you said,
I live in a world where a reality TV star is my president, and his best friend, who is somebody who never is the richest man in the world, calling literally a veteran astronaut senator a traitor to his country because he didn't agree with them. That's the logic I live in now. That's my reality of life. So do I think they're coming after horror movies? Yes. And we should not let them.
Fuck them. No.
Any of it.
So that means everybody keeps showing your support to all your cons. Keep going to your cons. Keep putting up for your GoFundMe's for your those what are they called for the movies to be made?
Oh, the Kickstarters.
Yeah, the Kickstarters. Make sure you're enjoying the content from the people that you enjoy. So keep it alive if you want your niche to stay strong. I mean, the horror community is fucking. They're one of the most rock solid communities there are. So. Mm-hmm. They'll figure it out. Somebody will stand up.
Hopefully.
What? Did you just roll? Oh, no, you still have one more next week.
Yep.
Two more of these films, but next week is the last week of Resident Evil of this whole
franchise.
Yes.
What's the other film?
About to show you right now for me.
Granddad's true facts right there.
It's a remake. Basically,
Resident Evil chapter finale, final, and Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
I think you got
no, that's what it's really called.
That's what it's called.
My Google,
it's chapter final, but it said chapter year, so I'm thinking he got like the French.
No, because I got the graphic. I got the graphic from, so that wasn't some shit I made up.
No, I get
no, I didn't think you made it up. I think you got it from a foreign graphic.
5 more than a recap.
No. Yeah, 2 more. That's it.
I gotta say though, it's great that this stuck around because one of the most fun I've had on both these podcasts is when we did the Freddy versus Jason, which kicked this all off for everybody, and I'm still smiling about it, man. I'm still smiling about it. It's like very, very fond memory for me.
That was a fun one.
I think my favorite so far has been the James Bond, though. I think it's the most new movies I got to see.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
Godzilla is good too, though, because that was weird and that was a wild journey.
No, that's fair. And lizards and everything. Just these franchises in general, overall, have been fun. It's just like with these longer ones, once you hit like mid, it's like, all right, I need a little break. I need a little break, but at the same time, I don't want to take a break because I want it to end. But I'm enjoying myself at the same time. Like with Bond, it's like I'm enjoying it. But now it's like, all right, we missed the wheels is what we're basically getting back to, which we're going to get back to those.
My favorite in this world is you keep saying, I want to take a break, and James's face like, end this.
He's good. But we're about to wrap this up, though. I do want to say this to everybody that was out there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you in the comments. And
it's awesome to see you again, Chris.
Hell yeah.
I'll be around.
Getting to that. I'm glad you're back.
Hell yeah, man. Are you coming back for the 200th?
He is.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Nice.
He better be.
I was going to wait till that, but then I decided not to. I couldn't hold myself tonight. I was staring at my computer, kept opening my closet, looking at my boxes like, I've been planning all day, like how I'm gonna do my setup and everything. I'm just itching.
There you go. Now
Nice.
you got to
Awesome.
itch a little bit more. You keep going to it. But we're gonna wrap this one up though, people. Make sure you guys go check out the Scene Snobs. Make sure you check out Popcorn and Pints. Of course, come back here next week at 8:00 Eastern Time and check out Popcorn and Pints Horror Research 30.
Uh-huh.
And of course, Worst Damn Gamer looks like he's finally getting his shit together. So check him out as well. With that said,
far from.
he's working on it. I'll see you in your nightmares, people. Peace.
Peace out.